All right, hi, this is Max. Welcome to Sonic Dorms. And on today's show, I have a very special guest. I got a new, young, probably one of my favorite artists that have come around my radar in the last several months. That's Pure Intention. And what's insane is that they only have one single out officially at the moment. It's called Bulletproof. It was released October of last year. That's 2020. Probably one of the brightest things that I encountered last year. But with that being said, thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Great to be here. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, if you wouldn't mind introducing me and whoever watches this, introducing yourselves to everybody.
No,
All right. Well, I'm Tim. I play guitar and I do some singing in the band. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Joe. I play bass and I sing sometimes, and I'm the manager.
and I'm John. I'm on the drums, and yeah, I sing a little bit too. Nothing released yet. I sing though. That's Tim. I'm Bulletproof. He's doing the
Yeah.
singing.
So that's interesting. So you all kind of sing in your own way, then, huh?
Yeah, we try to kind of like, because some songs fits Tim's voice, but other ones fit Joe's voice or something like that. So we don't want to limit ourselves to just one person singing if we don't have to.
That's cool. Some of my favorite bands are the bands that like you'd listen to an entire album or EP or whatever, and like every two songs there'd be like the other singer in the band.
Yeah.
Right.
It'd
Yeah.
keep you on your toes, you know.
Yeah.
Blink 182. They do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So interesting. So Joe, you manage the band as well?
Sorta. Yeah. I booked the interview. I booked the studios.
Joe kind of just tells us what we're gonna do, and we're like, all right, sure.
I keep it in line.
So did that come naturally to you, Joe? Getting into management like that? Was that something that you just fell into, or did you plan on it, or what?
I'm the only one that doesn't really fuck around. So like, yeah.
Right.
He messes around a little bit.
A little
but
bit. Yeah. It's
Nice.
not.
it was also because I feel like because we practiced at Joe's house or garage for a while, so I feel like it was just kind of like he just kind of took care of everything, kind
Yeah.
of professional for a little bit. and
Whenever we would go to his garage, Joe was kind of, of course, Joe's calling the shots of when we're able to come over.
so
So it just kind of naturally took over. I mean, I'm cool. We're cool with it. So it's all good.
he's a good manager, I would say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Number one in the business.
Right on. That's awesome. So something I like to do with starting off on the show is getting down and dirty into the details of the origin story, where you guys come from, what inspired you, and what brought you together as a unit.
Where should we start it?
These two should probably
Me and you.
Quarantine.
Yeah.
So we're all buddies from high school, but I wasn't. All of us weren't expecting being in a band with each other. This was like the least.
I don't think we
likely
were expecting to be in touch after high school either. But
We,
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
we were mutuals in high school, but we weren't like best friends in high school.
Yeah, we never really
said
hung
hi in the
out,
hallways, but these two got together during a quarantine because
And-
bass and guitarist, and they
Yeah.
started jamming. So
I
you guys
think-
can tell
I think
that.
Joe, you picked up bass or something
yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, I started playing guitar. Wasn't good at that, so here we
Yeah,
are.
bass
Switched
man.
it to bass, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they texted me. I played percussion at our high school, and they were like, but it wasn't like drum sets. It was just like a odd assortment of instruments that you hit with a stick. So they texted me like, you play drums. I was like, I can. And I showed up one day, and then that was it. The trio.
It was managed to work pretty well.
We were drummerless for a while. We didn't have anybody, and we had this one guy, but like he never really showed up. So we're like, all right, you're gone. So then we bought a kit on Facebook Marketplace for $100 because that was our problem. We didn't have a kit. Like,
And
we
I
were a
didn't have
bunch
one
of
either. I
drummers.
was like, if you guys give me a kit, I'll play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so then, yeah.
Right. And yeah,
What I'm hearing here, which I really dig, is something that you don't really hear or see from often. A lot of attention going towards like young bands who just organically fell together into like just came together organically and just started riffing on stuff that just sounded badass in their
Yeah.
garage or in a room, in some trashy room, but they just started making some noise. I mean, that's how Nirvana got together. It was just a matter of like three kids who just dig music a lot, really like had some time on their hands and just started making some noise. But I think that still exists, obviously, with guys like you. That exists, the idea of just organic musicianship, just musicians coming together in a room and just making some noise. And it's really cool and refreshing, I think, and in these days to see that like continue to happen. So kudos to you guys, really.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I definitely like, if we're playing something, like Tim knows the guitar the best, Joe knows the bass the best, and I know the drums. We can add stuff during the songs, and it kind of makes it better each time we play it. So it's very just like kind of improv at a certain point where we're just kind of playing. We don't really know what we're doing, and then and then a song comes out of it, and it's really cool, that process.
So you bring up songwriting now. Is that how it happens to you then? When you're writing songs, you guys just start jamming on a riff, and then maybe you start
I don't know shit about theory. I just start playing
we're
something
not,
and that's
we're
cool.
not,
It's like, all right.
we're not like we don't know any music theory. I guess the most
we know chords.
We know chords.
I know how to play root notes. Like
yeah, so we kind of like figure out as we go.
So Tim usually comes to the table. He's like, I have a riff. And he plays like 5 seconds of it. So then he'll play it for like 30 seconds straight, and me and Joe just try to figure out something to do with it. And then we get like a base of what we want it to be. And then like, we play it for a week straight of just that basic riff, and it starts to become more and more and more. Yeah. And then it's like, hey, these lyrics might work for it. And then you got to, that's pretty much how Bulletproof worked. Tim had a riff, we played, and then lyrics came a week later, and then we're like, all right, this is the song.
Yeah.
That was
it. Kind of, even if we have like a line or two of lyrics, we'll try to work off that, and it comes out pretty well, I think.
Is when it comes to like the music of this band now, is it just happening organically, or did you come into this with like a plan and a vision of like, this is what we want to sound like?
No, it just
everything came natural to us.
I think our influences play a big part on what we're trying to sound like, because like obviously like there's some bands who like love like older rock or whatever, but they don't sound like that. But I feel like we were definitely like, we did some covers and then we kind of branched off into our own stuff, and I feel like we're just trying to, that's where it came from. It's just like the stuff we like, because if Joe's a big Nirvana guy, so it's like we sound a little punky sometimes, and or we can switch it up. So
yeah.
So if you all three individually wouldn't mind telling me your own influences, like personally.
I just stole one. But yeah, you guys go. Well, I'm a big Doors guy. I really think John Densmore is like one of the most gifted drummers because he's just so spontaneous. But I wouldn't say I drum like him though. That was like the first people I got into that kind of like the rock genre. And then AC/DC, and I think Phil Rudd from AC/DC. He's just kind of like a simple drummer, so it's really easy to get into AC/DC stuff. So when I first started playing on Kid, it was like AC/DC, just learn those beats because that's like the roots to playing a drum set. So that probably AC/DC, The Doors, and besides Eminem too, but that's not rock. So I just think his lyrics are crazy. So that's probably my three.
It still involves rhythm, by the way. Eminem.
Yeah, for sure. And some of Eminem's older stuff, it is just it's a guy playing a bass and a guy on a drum, and that's how they used to record like old rap. So
it's awesome, dude.
I threw.
You want to go?
Me? Yeah. So I guess my main dudes. My main bands. That'll be go with AC/DC. There's a band called Airborne. I really love them.
They're like AC/DC.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So they're pretty similar, I think. And then big Motley Crue guy, and I'm a big Kiss guy. AC/DC. I feel like everyone starts talking about their inspirations with guitar and stuff. Angus and Malcolm are always on there, and I feel like Malcolm was essential for me learning how to play rhythm guitar, just because he was like always it's like right on beat. It was just straightforward. It was pretty simple stuff, but simple in a good way.
Yeah, it's all the band needed was that simple stuff. And how big is AC/DC? One of the biggest rock bands today.
Yeah, and then Mick Mars, I think, is one of the most underrated guitarists I've seen. If you try to play his riffs, you had to like dissect them piece by piece. Some of them are actually pretty complicated, and it's amazing how he's able to do it so cleanly all the time. And then Ace Frehley, for me, that's he's tied up with my number one guitar heroes. Ace Frehley, I feel like he's the master of playing in the box. Yeah, some people say he's limited what he could do, but I feel like although he is limited, what he could do with that is just great, and I just love him. It's fantastic.
Go off, Tim.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm glad you're going off, because guys like Mick Mars in particular don't get enough talk. I don't think enough people talk about Mick Mars, and he's superbly underrated as a guitar player, and he's got a tone. I love guitarists that have unique tones. Like when you listen to Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace, to him, immediately when you hear Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, and then you get into guys like Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton. But Mick Mars, when you hear him, he's got that raw, like as he said in his when he put his information out in the newsletter that Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee later found him through that ad. He said, looking for loud, rude, aggressive guitarists. Like he has a loud, rude, aggressive tone to his guitar playing. I don't know if you've ever checked out the Motley Crue album that was released in 1994. It was self-titled. It's known as Motley Crue 94 in the fan base, but it's the record they did without Vince Neil on vocals. The one record they did without him.
Yeah.
And it's basically Crue just branching out and laying it down like a hard rock blues based metal band.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to really hear Mick Mars like going nuts, put that record on.
Right.
And Tommy Lee, by the way, again.
Tommy Lee is just like he's another one of those drummers where I feel like it's like every song he does, it's like something different. It's not like just a basic beat. He's like doing tricks with his hands, and he's playing like the floor tom more than the snare some songs. So I feel like Tommy Lee is just like, it's just I like that drummer type where it's just like you don't have to do this over and over and over again. It's like just because it's not like what's written in the script. I mean, you can just do whatever you want. You can still make it work if you rock hard enough. So
yeah, they're rule breakers, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the basic stuff you see every day, and I think I like that's what I like about them.
That's how you find innovation, right? It's like they're breaking some rules from time to time.
All right. Joe, you want to drop some of yours?
I'm a big Green Day guy, so especially on the early records, their bass player Mike Dirnt, he had a really like bright, like mid-rangey tone, and it really popped out. And he would always do these like counter melodies and stuff to like really like give the band what it needed. And that's like really when I started to first notice like bass in music. So like he's probably one of the reasons I picked it up playing. And while we're talking Motley Crue, I like Nikki Sixx a lot. I think he's a really good player. He's not flashy at all, but like I mean they're a guitar band, so he doesn't really need to go fucking nuts and stand out. He does what needs to be done, and I really like his lyrics a lot. I think he's a talented lyricist. And let's see who else.
You gotta say Nirvana. I mean,
yeah, Nirvana. Chris Novoselic, great bass player, fantastic.
He's tall.
Yeah.
He's a big man. Yeah,
he's tall as well.
Who else? John Paul Jones. Great. Yeah. So.
That's awesome. I mean, you mentioned again, guys that like should get mentioned more often. Nikki Sixx. People mostly like talk about his lyrics, but I'm like, he's a solid bass player.
Yeah.
And I think he comes from like the Gene Simmons school of bass playing. Speaking of kids here, and that he's like just laying it down. He's not about being super flashy or over the top like a Billy Sheehan would be. He's more of like he's just like laying down the foundation so that the groove, so that Mick Mars can go crazy on top of the music and whatnot, and Tommy Lee obviously as well. But and Chris Novoselic, I mean, nasty bass tone, like.
Sure. Yeah.
So, with that being said, just based on what I heard with Bulletproof, I'm getting like some '60s like garage rock vibes, like super like almost like that dirty, almost like, dare I say, even like Black Rebel Motorcycle Club kind of stuff, like super like gnarly sounding, like fuzzy, just raw, but it sounds clean. Like I don't know who actually like records your material, but I don't know if you guys are self-produced or whatnot, but the mix is really well done. It sounds like a garage rock song, but I can still make out the bass, the guitar, and the vocals, and everything sounds clean, and nothing sounds like you guys just like, it's not a shitty recording is what I'm trying to say here. It sounds really fresh and distinct.
When we were about to record Bulletproof, we were like looking around studios and like, wow, this is a lot of money to record a song. We knew it was going to cost money, but it was like, this is a commitment. And we had like a garage band, like just recording on an iPad, and we're like, do we upload this? And we were considering it for a second, and thank God we didn't, because you had no idea what the hell was going on in that song. It was pretty funny. I mean, that's what it is. We're a garage band. That's where he started off, and it was just So
then thank God we booked a studio.
Yeah.
You guys actually have like an engineer like that actually like helped you like record the track, or?
Yeah. We went to Sound Vault Studios. It's
here in Chicago.
Chicago, Illinois. Yeah.
We went there, and
we didn't like commit ourselves to one, so we're recording the EP. What, Saturday?
We're recording Saturday,
and we're going to a different place, and it's nothing personal. We just go around trying, and it's honestly money is a feature too. It's like we can't gig yet, because everything's closed down. So whatever the most valuable way for us to record on music without like putting us like on our asses in the middle of nowhere. That's what we have to do.
But yeah, the guy we're going to Saturday, my friend, he's in a band called Bleak. He was in a bigger band before that, but they broke up. So it's his friend that's going to be the engineer. He does all their music and they sound really cool. So
yeah, I've heard you've got a EP coming up soon. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So are those tracks laid out already recorded, ready to go?
No, we're recording this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's involving the EP. Gotcha.
right, yeah.
Okay. And only 4 tracks?
Yeah.
4 tracks. They're pretty solid tracks. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're written already? Everything's written?
Everything's pretty much set in stone. We just gotta put it on a track and then we're done.
So in those 4 tracks, who's taking the lead vocals for the majority of those?
Well, Tim has 2, and then the other 2 are split between me and Joe. So like that was like one of the big kickers for this EP. We kind of wanted to put me and Joe's voice out there just to see like, how it gets perceived by the public. And it's like, if Tim's songs, maybe do better, then it's like, all right, maybe we'll just put Tim more on the songs than me and Joe. But it was an experiment, and I think all 3 of us on our tracks sound really good. So it's gonna be cool recording that.
And like I think nice thing about all 3 of us, we have like we have distinct voices.
Yeah.
So I guess Bogush could do more of like more like a Vince Neil.
Yeah, I sound a little bit like Vince Neil. So not as good as Vince Neil, but I mean it's kind of like that.
Better than him now.
Yeah, better than him now.
You can actually hear you can make out what words I'm saying.
Hey, you said it.
Yeah.
Then Joe's got more of like
Joe Strummer.
Joe kind of reminds me of the Ramones. I don't know if I'm just off, but Joe's voice is kind of like, I wouldn't say like mumbling, but it's more just like, it's kind of like a talking, I would say, but it's like you're still singing.
He has talk singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's got like a good voice for like
Anti-singing,
punk and
yeah.
for like kind of something similar like that.
Yeah. And then
I got that raspy.
Tim's got that raspy like 80s
Lemmy.
rock voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lemmy is a good comparison to Tim more and more. And so yeah, Tim sings 2, Joe sings 1, and I sing 1. So
yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
That's badass. I love the fact that you're a trio, by the way. I mean, I think there's not enough trios out there, especially
we were almost not a trio.
Really? It was almost a 4th member?
Well, originally, none of us sang.
Yeah. It was like, Tim was like the only one that like, I honestly
He was the
wasn't.
only one that could sing and play
Yeah.
at the same time.
I was also a little bit like still shy with them a little bit. I was like, so I definitely wasn't trying my hardest to sing. I was like, you know what, Tim, you just sing.
Yeah, the way I kind of sang a Bulletproof wasn't the way I originally sang. I kind of like tried singing normally, you know what I mean? Without any raspiness, and it wasn't good. And
so we opened auditions. Yeah. we literally just went to Snapchat, posted a picture, and I was like, hey, if you could sing, slide up and swing through. And somebody slid up on my story and said, hey, I mean, I sing this and that. And we had her, it was a girl, and we had her come through, and we told her to just like learn like 5 songs, 5 covers. And she just didn't do that. So when we played, she was just giving like this attitude to us, and we're just like, all right, I mean, like, do you want to be here or not? Because like we're serious. We're really trying to, make this something. And I feel like she kind of
snapped at us too.
Yeah, and
she's like, well, this isn't my playlist. I'm like,
that's what she said. This isn't my playlist.
I was just sitting there. I'm like, yo, you want to play Misty Mountain Hop? I don't know that one. Like, all right, well, we told you to learn it. So like, what?
3 days before, we told her to learn 5 songs. Like, Girls Got Rhythm, Paranoid. I don't even, My Generation. Like,
it was like
easy songs.
3 easy songs where you could get like a different range.
But yeah, it just didn't work out. She didn't really fit the mold. And I think right after that happened, Joe was just like, I mean, the chemistry between us 3 is perfect. Let's just like work on Tim's voice. And then thank God we did, because now we all.
When we came up with Bulletproof, that's when we found I could do the raspy voice.
Yeah.
Who wrote? I think
I wrote some of the worst lyrics known to man. And when I was working, I was just thinking about these lyrics and this and this and this. And
the first line, to give you some idea, the first line was "stupid ass bitch."
It was about a breakup, okay? It wasn't anything about, those are the words. But anyway, the word bulletproof was in there.
Yeah.
And Joe was like, all right, I'm not a big fan of this, but bulletproof is cool.
And, and I was kind of playing this that main riff you hear, the do. I was kind of playing that before, and they were like, let's try it. And I did, and I said, all right, let's go with a bulletproof. You get me? And it just worked.
The song came together within like 2 weeks. Like, no,
Whoa,
all together.
Lyrics came together like in an hour.
Yeah. Me and Joe worked on these lyrics like one night, and then it was like half of them we used, half of them we threw away.
Yeah, we had a first verse and then the chorus.
Yeah,
And then-
and I came in, I wrote the second.
And then it was like the day before recording, and we're like, we still need one line in the chorus. And Tim's like, oh, let's say high
High
octane.
octane.
And
Yeah.
we're like, all right. And that was the song. And then, I mean, Tim like dorms at a college. So we're just kind of like, we wanted to kind of put something out there where it was like to solidify that we're a band, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
just so it didn't wither away while he was gone.
Yeah.
And I think it really did work, even
Yeah.
though it might not be like a Grammy winning song, but I mean,
But
it was
I
cool.
think, I think it's just a cool, fun song.
Great
It's-
first
I don't
song,
think
in my opinion.
we don't take ourselves like seriously at all. I mean, we take ourselves seriously in some contexts, but like,
we're
I
not
was trying to
trying
put
to be
it-
like the next
yeah,
like the next award-winning selling like inspirational band. We're just
Yeah.
trying to make music the way we want to make music, and it's
Yes.
a little goofy. It's not too serious. Like it's not serious music in the
We-
way
we
it's
have
like we're
fun
not
with
talking
it.
about serious stuff.
Right.
You
yeah,
know,
we're having fun with it.
Yeah.
And if like something happens and we get some momentum, then it happens.
yeah. I
Have
mean,
you
Well,
gotten any reception? Like, what's the reception been to the first single?
we got a
well-
few streams in India, which is pretty cool.
In India, Italy, and Australia, and Canada, and somewhere else. But I
And-
mean, we haven't hit 1,000 yet. But I mean, for like,
We're at like
Or-
700 streams, which is pretty good for a
Yeah.
no-name band who has
Yeah.
like no background of anything of any sort. It's just
Yeah,
three
we
dudes
literally-
that play instruments.
yeah,
and-
we literally just came out and said, "Hey, listen to our song." I mean, we didn't promote it. Well, I mean, we
We-
promoted it a
we-
week before.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah, it
we
wasn't on a playlist. It was
Yeah,
just-
we didn't have any videos up of us or anything. And for that, I mean,
It worked,
700
yeah.
and something. It's 700 and something
Yeah,
to me.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are there gonna be things on this EP that are gonna surprise anybody coming off of the back of Bulletproof, where people are gonna be like, "Wow, I didn't expect
Ab-
this."
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. It's. I don't want to spoil anything like a movie, but it's like, I mean, it's the same band, but I feel like Bulletproof and this EP, it's like a 180 in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Really?
I don't know. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a
In terms of style, we changed, but it's not anything drastic. But you can still tell it's us, and I think that's what makes it good.
and we're not changing. Like it's not like type of thing where it's like this is our new sound. Like we have other songs in the bank that sound similar to the Bulletproof, like the 80s older rock vibes. And it's just like I think I mean, there's no reason for us to just like put ourselves in a corner and just do like
Yeah.
this type of music. I mean,
Yeah,
if we have something we think it sounds good, let's just do it. And
Yeah,
so
like we're all willing to open up, like to like expand more and like try a new direction, but still at the same time we still want to sound like us.
yeah, and I think we do with the EP. It's
Yeah.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be cool.
Right. Are you guys gonna do any promotion for it? As far as I know, that it's crazy times right now. No one can really. Sad, and it really sucks that people can't really perform right now. But you guys
Yeah.
gonna do any promotion, any live streams or anything like that?
I mean, we have a few videos on YouTube of covers, but I mean, live streams and probably we've done a few on Instagram, but like maybe like a full like thing like where you have to like come like everybody go to Instagram and you like plug it a few days in advance. We might do something like that.
Mhm.
We did posters for Bulletproof. We printed
Yeah.
a bunch
We
of
went old school with it.
a bunch of flyers and we taped them all around Wrigleyville and everywhere we can go.
And
So we're gonna
kinda
do that.
worked.
We're gonna
probably do that
Yeah,
again.
it
there was-
worked.
we hung one up in Wrigleyville and some lady came around and took a picture of it and we're like, hey, that's one person that would not
Wow.
have seen the song if we didn't
Yeah.
put that
Yeah,
flyer up.
so it's pretty cool.
So
Yeah.
we're probably gonna do that again. But
hopefully get on a playlist. That would be pretty cool.
yeah,
Because when you first put a song out, you can't like pitch it to Spotify curated playlists. So like now that we have Bulletproof out there with these, we could do that a few weeks in advance, and hopefully it gets on something. That would be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Hell yeah. I love the fact that you guys are just so like pure of intent here with just the way no, seriously. Yeah, really. No, but like for real, it sounds to me like you guys are old school in all the right ways. You're not like doing it like out of like you guys think retro is cool or something. You guys just have something in your DNA where, like this sounds cool to me.
yeah.
You know?
Which
Yeah.
is cool.
So guys, I really appreciate you guys taking some time to come on Sonic Dorms. I'm trying to really launch this, and I just want to bring people on that again that I think are truly cool, and to bring it as a platform for young aspiring artists such as yourself. So I'd love to have you guys back on when you have the EP out so we can discuss the EP. But thanks for introducing yourselves to Sonic Dorms, and I hope to have you guys back very soon.
Thanks for having us. This
Yeah,
is
thank you.
awesome, yeah.
All right, guys, and keep rocking. All right, looking forward to hearing the new music. All right,
All right,
Alright,
thank
cool.
you.
Thanks,
so
man.
much.
all right, talk soon.
See ya.
All right, see ya. Have a good one.